listening to the Caps, Locks, and Cherry Shots podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever and wherever you may be listening to us, you have your ears locked into the Caps, Locks, and Cherry Shots podcast. My name is Ed Burkeen. I am the host of these festivities, and joining me, as always, is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion, and voice of all of Southeast Asia, the one, the only, the Jaime.
Dan Durant. Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's good to talk to everyone. Oh, that was Jaime's introduction. Sorry.
What a dick. Say hi, Jaime.
Hi guys, Dan's a dick.
All right.
Start this right. As always, with Ed is me, the troll of the podcast, Dan.
Well, at least you look the part. Anyway, we have a big show here today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff. We're going to cover the Royal Rumble. We're going to cover just about everything that's going on since the last time we've been around. But before we go to the WWE stuff, we're going to talk about something that brought us all together. Back in the infancy of this podcast, when I took over covering Impact Wrestling, Dan, at the time, before he became lazy, was doing Impact Power Rankings. Jaime was contributing some of the Impact a la carte articles. Let's go with that. So we're going to talk about the one thing that we all know and we all used to love, and that's Impact Wrestling. With Impact, we got the rule of three. 3 new champions, 3 big departures, and 3 things we're going to look forward to. But before we talk about any of those, for those of you listening that may still watch Impact, if there's any overlap between our 6 listeners and the 12 people that actually watch Pop TV, this is your spoiler alert. What we're going to be talking about has not hit airwaves yet. So if you don't want Impact spoiled for you, go ahead and fast forward. Now, let's start with the good. We've had 3 different titles change hands. The first one, Josh Matthews, became the Impact Grand Champion. Let's start there. Jaime, what are your thoughts? The GOAT is now the Impact Grand Champion.
Well, he finally became a wrestler. That's my first thought.
Hold on. Are you saying that his match with Steiner and Borash didn't really count? He was a wrestler then, right?
Well, it was hilarious, but it's not really a wrestling match. It's more of like a comic skit.
That's pretty much what Impact has been reduced to. But anyway, continue with your thought.
Well, he finally became a wrestler. Like, he's going to wrestle. He has a belt. He's going to legit compete. Something he never really did in the past. So, good for him. I don't know what he can bring to the table in terms of in-ring ability, given his age, and when was the last time he ever took, well, the thumbtacks count, but when was the last time he took a bump from a wrestling move?
Maybe NXT? Or Tough Enough? Way back in Tough Enough, the first season?
Yeah, first season of Tough Enough.
Dan, what do you think? Is Josh Matthews a good Grand Champion?
No. Josh Matthews is nothing but an overrated commentator. And Impact has no idea what to do with anything at this point in time. We're going to get to some of the other stuff here shortly, so I'm not just going to jump into it. But they're scrambling, and it's not good. As much as the 3 of us really used to love Impact, man, it's after. I don't want to say it. I'll finish this statement later once we get to some other stuff.
All right.
So I'm just going to say no, he's not a good champion, and leave it at that.
Well, let's talk about somebody that maybe is a good champion. For those of you that don't know, Austin Aries has been crowned the... what are they calling it? Is it the global champion still? Are they separating themselves from the GFW so far? They're just calling it a world title now?
I wish I could tell you.
Well, at any rate, Austin Aries has won the big belt in Impact. Dan, good move, bad move? What are we looking at there?
He can cut a promo. He's a hell of a wrestler. He might have been the saving grace for the company.
So
Might have been.
he's going to be a better champion than Eli Drake.
Yeah, just name value. And I think Eli Drake's a hell of a worker, and I think he was someone last year who put that company on his back. But from a namesake, possibly bringing in some viewers from the WWE audience who maybe didn't know Austin Aries from before. Maybe they'll start watching, and that'll help viewership. So yeah, I think it was the right move. I just don't know how. Like, the question is how long are they going to make these right moves? You know what I mean?
Well, they got to start somewhere. And I'm going to come back to what you just said about name recognition and all that stuff. But first, Jaime, you love Eli Drake. You've been one of his biggest supporters. Is Dan right? Is this a good move to go away from Eli Drake and onto the Austin Aries bandwagon?
Yes, I'm a fan of the decision as well because it will bring in some WWE viewers or some of the old viewers that have lost faith in Impact. They're soon going to go back and watch since one of their favorites has just went back. And it's more exposed. It depends on how long he's going to feud with Eli Drake. Eli Drake and Austin Aries are going to feud, but it gives him more exposure, so it's a win-win.
Well, I can't say you both are wrong, but Dan, you specifically are, because you said one of the reasons they put him on there was for name recognition. Some of the WWE people may cross over and watch. But, I mean, I guess they did it with Lashley. El Patron had one of the shortest title reigns in the history of title reigns. I think it lasted all the way.
El Patron was El Loco.
To be fair, he had nothing to do with that. That was a witch hunt. But how about John Morrison? How about Christopher Adonis? Where was their title reigns?
So Johnny Mundo, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Impact, John Morrison. The issue with him is I feel like he might have been a little bit too far removed to where some of these newer viewers, the younger viewers, let's put an age range on this. Let's say 13, because 13 is a realistic age viewing for WWE, 13 to 17, right? What are the odds of them watching when Morrison was relevant in the WWE?
Counterpoint. 13 to 17-year-olds spend a lot of time on Netflix. What's on Netflix? Lucha Underground.
Sure.
Who's Lucha Underground's biggest star here lately? Besides Rey Mysterio, it's been Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo. No, I no, that's a very good counterpoint. I just think my thing is a guy like Aries, like I said, but Mundo can cut a promo too. That's a very fair point. I think this is their different ownership now too, as far as from when Aries was there before. So, it's a tough thing to say. I think that's what they're trying to do, especially with losing some of these big names. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Can I spoil something else?
Sure, why not?
I think them going back to a four-sided ring is a good idea. We've talked about that before.
That was going to be coming in the ugly part of the three things to watch out for. We'll get to that here in a second.
That'll be fun to talk about.
The third new champion is Austin Aries again, as he takes the Grand Championship off of Josh Matthews. Now, none of us are a very big fan of Matthews ever holding a belt ever. Is it a good move to maybe unify these belts, Jaime?
Unify the Grand Championship and the X Division?
No, Global Champion.
A Global Champion and the Grand Champion.
Yes. Or is he the X Division Champion? Do I have that wrong? No, Josh Matthews won the Global Championship, right? Yeah, so let's go with that, Jaime. Is this a good move to maybe unify these belts?
Well, I'm actually fan of the Grand Championship, but the thing about it is I'm not fan of its system of how they have to fight through round system, and at the end of the round, if no pinfall occurs, it will be the judge's decision. It's just the cheap way to imitate maybe MMA or any combat sport. I'm not a fan of the system, but an additional title would work for the promotion.
Well, you're missing. It's not a ripoff of MMA. It's not a ripoff of anything else. It's a ripoff of the Brawl for All. It's exactly the Brawl for All, almost down to the timing. It's the Brawl for All, and the Brawl for All was a terrible idea then. This is a terrible idea. We also have I am very confused with these spoilers. Okay, never mind. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about 3 big departures from Impact Wrestling. The first one, Laurel Van Ness. She's gone. With the Royal Rumble coming up, will we see Laurel Van Ness in the Royal Rumble?
No. I don't think we see any of these in the Royal Rumble. Maybe one.
Okay, so no LVN then.
No.
How
I
about?
don't even think LVN signs for at least another 6 months, maybe.
And even if she signs, there's no character establishment for her. Like,
There
who knows
is,
her
tough
except
enough.
for her?
Tough enough.
Well, tough enough, but character establishment-wise, does she? Unlike your
she's gotta
Mandy
get that-
Roses or your Sonya Deville's, she doesn't have that character establishment.
She's got to get that stench off of her too with a hot mess. She did amazing things with that character, but God, it was so cringeworthy. Tell me I'm not alone on that.
No. It was, and I absolutely hated it.
Was.
But anyway, guys, I have to stop us here. We may have been trolled a little bit because did a little bit of research, and guess who's not listed on the official spoilered Wikipedia page for the Grand Championship?
Aries?
Nope. Josh Matthews. I think we were fooled there, guys. Because it's got Matt Sydal winning it on a tape delay episode airing January 18th, and then losing it on an episode that's going to air March 29th to Austin Aries.
No, I thought that was tweeted out on the official Twitter account, though. Matthew's holding the belt.
Well, let's put this into Google. Anyway, while I'm doing that research, let's talk about Bobby Lashley, shall we? He's gone from...
He might be the only one we see in the Rumble.
You think we're going to see him in the Rumble?
He's the only one I think we might see. If there's anyone that has a chance in it, it's him. There's clear character development there, like that Jaime was talking about. And let's not mention, he has some ties sort of to Angle, so that could be a Raw entrance with a new signing.
Interesting. So you think we're actually going to see Bobby Lashley at the Rumble? That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, and I think he has to make a choice too. MMA or wrestling. Because if he's staying in wrestling, we talked about it in our Real Sport chat that he could do MMA at Indies, which is true. But I feel like if Lashley's staying in wrestling, he's staying to go back to the WWE and have that last run there. I don't think he's staying to wrestle the Indies. Not that Lashley's not an indie guy, but when you look at these top prominent indie promotions, Lashley really wasn't on any other flyers. You never really heard about him doing any big shows except for WrestleCon. And the reason why they did WrestleCon last year was because it was in Orlando, and Impact was catching a lot of flack for not having any of their guys do anything, besides the Hardys, really. And at that point in time, the Hardys weren't even signed with Yeah, the Hardys weren't even signed with them last year, WrestleMania season, obviously. So I mean, I think if Lashley's officially gone, if he's not going to do MMA full time, I think we're going to see him in the Rumble. I would, if there were odds, I would probably take the bet. I wouldn't bet a lot, but I would take the bet with good odds.
Fair enough. Got to the bottom of the Josh Matthews situation. In something that's confusing, this is what happened. Josh Matthews gave Matt Sydal a gift, a mask of his spirit animal, because apparently Josh Matthews is Matt Sydal's spiritual advisor. Matt Sydal returned the favor by giving Josh Matthews the Impact Grand Championship. However, Matt Sydal then defended the same championship the following night against Austin Aries and lost it, hence why Austin Aries is now the Grand Champion and the Global Champion.
So Josh Matthews was never actually the champion.
No. Also, Don Callis hinted that the Global and Grand Championships would be merging.
Thank God. You didn't ask me how I felt about the Grand Champion.
No, we know. We all hate the Grand Championship. I think that goes without saying. All right. Let's move on to the final guy, and the one I think will be at the Rumble, especially after the tweet he released, and that is EC3.
Tell me the tweet. I haven't seen it.
He said a whole new universe to be conquered.
No, that was Rockstar Spud. I sent that to you. Rockstar Spud sent that tweet out with him and EC3.
Oh, you see, that's me not doing fact-checking. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not very good at my job. Either way, I still think we're going to see him probably entrant number 9. It's always a good for a shock. It's always either a return or somebody new. Jaime, what do you think? EC3, Rumble, yay or nay?
Yay.
Really? You guys think that Derek Bateman is going to be in the Rumble?
I don't think he's going to come back as Derek Bateman, but I think we're going to see Ethan Carter, maybe, I don't know, Eddie Jones the Fourth come in.
Maybe it's Vince McMahon the Fourth. Maybe it's Vince McMahon the Second. You know, I mean, he was Dixie Carter's what? Dixie
Nephew.
Carter's nephew. So maybe this.
Well, they
maybe
can't.
Maybe Dixie Carter is actually Vince McMahon's long lost sister. They connected. Dixie shows up on the 25th anniversary to introduce him to her nephew, Ethan Carter III. But really, it turns out to be Vince McMahon's son, Vince McMahon II.
You're thinking too hard. You don't.
I'm thinking too hard. Jaime did not sound like something.
You don't need
he
Vince
just said
McMahon.
The last 40 episodes of this podcast.
You don't need Vince McMahon for this when Eric Bischoff is already booked for Raw 25.
Oh my God.
He's not Bischoff's nephew. We've already seen Bischoff's nephew, and that was Eugene. He's Bischoff's son. Plus, it's a good FU.
Bischoff the second.
It's a good FU right to Garrett Bischoff for some of the stuff he said about the WWE over recent years that Triple H has not forgotten about. Wouldn't be shocked. Just saying, wouldn't be shocked. Anyway.
EB2.
There you go. I like those initials myself. EB, fantastic. Fantastic initials, by the way. Anyway, let's move on. Since we're already... we're going to skip over the 3 things to watch for Impact, but 4-sided ring, good idea, bad idea, yay, nay?
I love it. You know I wasn't a fan of the 6-sided ring, so...
Jaime, is this a good move? Impact going to 4 instead of 6?
Well, 6-sided is their identity, but I'm a fan of the 4-sided because the Impact I grew up to love back when they were still a 3-letter promotion was a 4-sided ring. It started with a 4-sided ring.
That's very true. All right. 3 big
the
things.
The thing is, man, another reason why I think we had this conversation on an episode that didn't air. another thing that I really like about it is it's not as stiff for the people working. Just the ring's so much easier to take bumps in. And when they're doing these tapings back to back to back like this, like I can't imagine what their bodies feel like taking all these bumps on a six-sided ring. I think it's something that maybe the locker room even pushed for too. I absolutely love it.
Another spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually happening live right now. We have a new United States champion.
If it's Jinder Mahal, don't say it because I'm done with the show for the night.
No, it's not Jinder Mahal, but I think it is a glorious
oh my god,
move.
You're so off key.
I know, dude. I'm getting over a cold. Voice is cracking.
Glorious.
You weren't on key either.
I won't give in.
All right, we're gonna move on. 3 headlines from the WWE. First thing, War Machine signs. Big deal? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Huge deal.
Jaime?
Yay, for NXT.
Candice LeRae. She signed. Big deal?
Should have been signed a long time ago.
Jaime?
I agree.
All right.
Signed a long time ago.
Jay Uso. Arrested for DUI in Texas. Big deal?
Big deal.
Not that he was on tonight's show.
Yeah, and he was on tonight's show. Interesting. Okay, all right. Let's move on. On more big headlines from the WWE, Goldberg is the first and probably marquee name for the 2018 Hall of Fame class. Jaime, does he deserve it?
Yes, he deserves it in terms of he brought fans in their seats.
But does he deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is, because WCW Hall of Fame is technically WWE Hall of Fame as well. Remember Sting? Now we have Goldberg.
Well, you know, that's a good point, because they said on SmackDown tonight that the United States Championship goes back 47 or 41 years, all the way back to the likes of Ric Flair and Harley Race. That was definitely NWA WCW stuff. So, Dan, hang up your phone.
I'm not at work. That's not my Elias sound. That's coming from the other guy on this show.
Whatever. Stop pointing fingers. It's not nice. Dan, is this a good... does Goldberg deserve this?
I don't care if he deserves it or not. I'm 100% happy that Goldberg is the headliner, because this means that we are probably getting at least one more Undertaker match at WrestleMania. I didn't want to...
We'll get to that here at the end. We're going to play a little game toward the end of the show, and we're going to talk ad nauseum about Undertaker. So, it's a yes or no question. Is it a good idea?
Yeah, he deserves it, 100%. In my opinion, he sort of carried the promotion on his back last year.
Goldberg?
Yeah. There's an unpopular opinion.
Fair enough. If it's your opinion, it's your opinion. Another headline just came out today. Roman Reigns possibly linked to a steroid scandal in Miami. Should we care?
Let me tell you something. He has a Sierra, a hotel. Do you want me to continue?
No, we get the idea.
An Eka, a Lima, and a Delta protecting him. So, no, he's good.
What is the E? Hold on. What is the E?
Echo.
I want to make sure before I called you dumb, but you got it right. Okay.
What do you think I said?
I thought you mispronounced it. Anyway.
Do you want me to go through the phonetic alphabet for you?
No, because I know you know it and so do I. But anyway. So this is not a big deal then?
No, I don't think so. I think this is white noise.
Jaime?
And not a big deal. He's protected.
Okay, fair enough. I thought we'd get more on that, but I guess we don't. All right, let's talk, since I'm actively watching it right now, best memory from the 25 years of Monday Night Raw, real quick. What do you got? Jaime, we'll go to you first.
talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16, but Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass.
Alright, I'm going to stop you right here. Are you talking about him actually saying that, or just the whole Austin 3:16 era in general?
The whole Austin 3:16 era in general.
Fair enough.
That's the birth, that's the start.
Because he said that at King of the Ring after beating which wrestler?
Jake the Snake.
Good call. Yeah, he said that after beating Jake the Snake. Who did he say it to? Dan, do you know?
No, not happening.
Oh, come on. Jaime, you know who it is, right?
Bret Hart.
No! Who was conducting the interview?
Was it Mean Gene?
Oh.
No!
Yeah.
Oh my god, no!
Wait, I forgot.
It was Doc Hendricks, or you may also know him as one of the fabulous Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes.
Oh.
You guys disappoint me on a massive level.
Forgot.
That's fair to say. I disappoint you on that. I won't argue.
Dan, give me your best highlight from Monday Night Raw.
Just the whole DX angle, the invasion angle.
Be more specific.
Going to Monday Night Nitro.
Oh, going to the Norfolk Scope is what you're saying? When we're going down there, and that's not bad. How about the Beer Bash? How about the Milk Bash? How about Chris Jericho's debut? How about some of the
That's one.
How about some of the tribute shows to Eddie Guerrero, to Chris Benoit, to Owen Hart? How about some of those? How about maybe the Pipe Bomb promo?
Pipe Bomb, I mean, honestly, there's just so much. I mean, honestly, in recent, even though it has been rough, I think one of my recent favorite memories from Raw is probably the Shield reunion.
Speaking of the Shield, how about Roman Reigns the night after he beat The Undertaker?
Oh my god. I literally just got chills on my arms thinking about sitting in the freaking arena that night.
The 15 minutes of booze for him to say, "This is my yard now." I mean,
you don't.
5 words.
He could have stood there for the whole 3 hours of Raw. He could have stood there for the whole 3 hours of Raw and said that at the end, and he would have got booed for 3 hours. My favorite memory was the one that I think I was personally most shocked, because I came around toward the middle to the end of the Monday Night Wars, right when Bischoff was at the most of his Bischoffness. The night that it was announced that Eric Bischoff was the new general manager of Monday Night Raw. The whole build-up where Vince had somebody, and Shane comes up to him and goes, "I know who it is. This guy screwed over our family more often than not, and this is a bad idea." I thought he was talking about Hogan. I legit thought we were going to hear Hulk Hogan's music come out, and Hulk Hogan was going to run Monday Night Raw. And then it's Eric frickin' Bischoff, the guy that publicly swore to kill Vince McMahon, then tried everything he could to put Vince McMahon out of business, is now working directly for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Blew my mind. It was the best Monday Night Raw I've ever seen. But I could be wrong. Anyway. You're always wrong, but I digress.
I'm never wrong. And by the way, that's going to be the name of my book. But I digress. Stay tuned for that as soon as I ever get it finished. Alright, we're going to play a little game called... Shut up, Dan. We're going to play a little game called Is It Good or Is It Bad? 1 or 2 word answers. I'll ask for explanations when I need them. Jaime, we're going to go to you first. Seth Rollins brought back the curb stomp. Is it good or is it bad?
There is a correct answer.
Dan, good or bad?
Good.
I think we all know why. And if you don't, there's a picture circulating of Seth doing it. Just look at Jason Jordan's face. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Dude, that was the best I think that was the best part of that picture.
Okay. Braun Strowman. For one, the whole storyline he had last night on Raw, just destroying everything and everybody. Is that good or bad? Jaime?
As much as I hate Braun, I'd say good.
Dan? There's your answer for that. Did it make sense? Did it make sense for Kurt Angle to fire him only to say, oh wait, Stephanie called me, you're back hired? Did it make sense?
Yes, it made sense.
It's only going to make sense if this continues next week. If it doesn't continue next week, it's not going to make sense.
Okay. Peter Rosenberg.
To give Kurt a lashing.
Okay, let's talk about some of our competition. Peter Rosenberg, is he good or bad?
I love Peter.
I do too. I think he's great. Jaime, thoughts?
Good.
Fair enough.
I like him a lot more than Sam.
Okay.
Coming from the guy who has we had a pretty long conversation because he was at Extreme Rules. And after the pre-show, I actually called him, got a picture with him, and I just had a conversation with him about radio and podcasting and everything like that. But I think Peter's a little bit better for the WWE aspect of it than Sam is. But I think Sam Roberts is more of a pure fan of wrestling than Peter Rosenberg.
Well, Sam Roberts always struck me as the kind of guy, and if you're listening, Mr. Roberts or Mr. Rosenberg, and you want to come onto the show, you just find me, and we'll have you on as much as you want. But I think Sam Roberts is more... He's more of the every guy that's not quite as polished as Rosenberg is. He's more of one of us. But...
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I don't think it's a bad thing to have, Renee Young and Booker T and Jerry the King Lawler and somebody that actually represents the common everyday wrestling fan that's not somebody that was born in Stamford, Connecticut, that has connections, that's ever been in a ring. It's somebody that has spent their lives trying to find tapes on the internet and looking up YouTube and, watching grainy video from New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 1980s to figure out what Jericho's special move was before it was the Walls of Jericho and how to properly do the Lion Tamer and stuff like that. I think that's who Sam Rosen is. And honestly, he's one of us, and I dig it. It's just his voice kind of bothers me.
So Sam Rosen and Peter Roberts?
You know what I meant. All right, last one, and this is one we're going to talk at nauseum. It looks to be that we are going to get The Undertaker and John Cena at WrestleMania. Jaime, is that good or bad?
Good.
Daniel, would you like a few minutes to explain your position?
Yeah, so I'm 100% excited for this match now. That doesn't look like Taker's headlining the Hall of Fame class. I think it would be a waste of Taker to have him in the same Hall of Fame class as Goldberg, just because Goldberg can be that guy that draws the fans in for that night. So I'm really excited to see Taker again this year at Mania. I think this is a match well deserved. I do feel like it's a few years past due, but man, it's going to be one of the matches that every fan from the age of 40 to the age of 10 can enjoy, because Cena is that kid's fan, and Taker is that 40-year-old's fan from when he was a kid. So it's all these generations that are just going to be meshed together in all for this match, and I don't think it matters who wins. I think everyone goes home happy. I feel like Taker goes over. If that match happens, I feel like Taker goes over.
Now, I'm going to remind you of something. WrestleMania 18, Skydome. It was the last time we had an icon of such, pardon my turn of phrase, biblical proportion as The Undertaker. It was Hulk Hogan. And it was the last time we had a guy who was pretty much out the door, a part-time superstar who was still grossly huge, like John Cena, in The Rock. And this happened already. We've already seen this. It was huge, and probably, it's my top 5 favorite match of all time, simply for the build-up and the spectacle that it was. I don't think it's going to eclipse that. I think it's just going to be sad. Jaime, am I wrong there?
Yeah, it's just going to be sad.
So it's a good thing you're recording this, Ed. Because about a year ago, probably wouldn't have heard me say this. But I think John Cena can carry Taker all the way through this match and make it one hell of a match.
I'm not sure. I agree with you that this match is happening 5 years too late. Cena should have been the one in 21-1. For all it did for Lesnar, and it was a great thing it did for Lesnar, and it boosted Lesnar's career, that should have been John Cena. And maybe it shouldn't have been 21-1. Maybe it should have been like 24-1. And Cena keeps The Undertaker from being 25-0 at WrestleMania, and it turns John Cena. We get new life into Cena. The Undertaker goes out, sayonara, how you doing, goodbye, and he goes into the Hall of Fame class last year. That should have been how it ended. This is, I fully expect too little too late. But
that's fair. I'm surprised that you and I are opposite on this. But that's fair enough to say.
well, I mean, I'm a big John Cena fan. It's just I don't think this is the right thing to do. If you're going to have John Cena at WrestleMania, that's fine. But don't let him break The Undertaker. That being said, if he's going to turn The Undertaker, if he's going to turn after this, and he's going to use the momentum of beating The Undertaker to turn his character into the bad guy that we've all been craving for so long, beautiful.
I don't think we'll ever see it.
I don't think we will either. Because of what he's doing now, he's doing kids' movies, he's doing all this charity stuff. I don't think... I mean, I don't know. But before we go any further, and we're going to talk a lot about the Royal Rumble, there are a few things that we have to remember about Monday Night Raw. And one of them is Gene Snitsky. And what is Gene Snitsky most famous for?
It wasn't his fault.
What? What the hell did you just say, Dan?
Fault.
Yeah, Jaime, you're right. Hi, what are you talking about? That's Eugene, you doofus. Gene Snitsky was the guy that punted Lita's fake baby.
Oh, I thought you said Eugene.
No. Oh my gosh. Or how about the musical chairs with Chris Jericho winning a chance for the Intercontinental Championship? The Festival of Friendship. Oh, how did we forget Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens in Vegas? HLA, hot lesbian action. Oh, so much good stuff. Anyway, all right. Let's get back on topic and let's switch topics. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble. Before we get to the marquee 30-man, 30-women matches, let's talk about the undercard, if you will. And you can't get more undercard than 205 Live. So, Jaime, Enzo Amore, Cedric Alexander, who wins?
Enzo.
Explain.
Well, Enzo Amore is going to win this one because he's got to drop the title to a babyface at Mania, not at the Rumble. As much as big as an event as the Rumble is, he has to drop it on a bigger show. That would maybe give Cedric, that would give more sympathy for Cedric, who lacks the personality but has the in-ring ability.
Yeah, I don't really care. I want to see Alexander win. Enzo's going to keep the title. It's on the pre-show. Why are we talking about it?
Fair enough. Usos versus Benji Gable. Now, we saw Shelton Benjamin and Gable take out the Usos earlier. The court system of the great state of Texas may take out one of the Usos anyway. So, where do we go from here?
Everything might change after that DWI.
You think so?
It might change.
All right.
That might that might be some quick fly booking. I can't call it. I'm going to take a Jaime route. I can't call it.
Jaime, it sounds like Dan's calling the Usos to lose this match and then go by the wayside. Is that what you're predicting here as well?
I'm going with Benja Gable.
So that is what you're predicting. Fair enough. I'm going to join you guys. So we're all in agreement, Enzo, and we're all in agreement, Benja Gable. 2 for 2 so far. All right. I guess. Do we have a name for Seth and Jason Jordan?
The Architect and the Nerd.
No, that's terrible. I would say like
Well, since
1/4 of the Shield, but I don't think my math works out there right. Because Jordan takes so much away from Seth, he's not a full third of the Shield, so he's like a fourth of the Shield. Does that make sense?
No, you're kind of. I don't know. He might have brought back the old Seth with the stomping of the curbs.
Very true. The condom breakers, maybe? Because, Jordan came from a broken condom, and...
Look, we were doing so well. We were doing so well this show, and Ed is the one to screw it up.
The first 5 seconds, we call you a dick 4 times, Dan. We weren't doing well from the start. Anyway...
Oh, I missed that part. That's just part of my name.
Seth and Jason Jordan are taking on the Bar. Anybody picking the Bar here?
I think the Bar is going to be breaking up.
You think?
Yeah, I think the Revival could take the titles off of them.
They've been together for like 5 years.
Who?
The Bar.
They've been together for like 5 months.
Sheamus and Cesaro have been...
a little over a year.
They've been teaming for like at least 3 or 4.
No, dude. Sheamus was a part of the freaking, the Rusev, Wade Barrett, and...
League of Nations.
Yeah, the League of Nations, which was...
Right.
Not even 2 years ago.
They were together before that.
No, they were not.
Yes, they were.
No, they were not.
They held championship gold before that.
No, they did not.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, another sad moment from Monday Night Raw, by the way.
Please back me up on this.
Yeah, it was Tyson Kidd. Cesaro held the belt with
Tyson Kidd.
You know what? I often get Sheamus and Tyson Kidd confused. I apologize. But another sad moment from Monday Night Raw, and it was one that's been pretty recent, and I bawled like a freaking baby. And that was the night Edge retired. It even caught in my throat just a little bit right there. Saying goodbye to... my sisters used to call me Edge because me and my dad had the same name, and it was just something short like that, but the day Edge retired really got me right in the feels. Anyway, anybody else got any thoughts on Edge? No? Yes? No?
You think you know me. You think you know.
By the way, that was in our top 10 for wrestling theme songs of all time, right? If not...
Rango, number 95.
Oh, no. The one after that by Alter Bridge was so much better than Rob Zombie.
I know. Yeah.
Because when I hear that song, all I'm thinking of is Twisted Metal. Anyway.
But the Rob Zombie song wasn't that bad.
No, it really wasn't. We need to get back on topic. AJ versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match where if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win, I guess they're co-champions. But AJ's not dropping his belt, right? Daniel?
It'd be really... I feel like it would make a little bit of a mockery of the championship if they were to win it. If they win it, it's going to be by shenanigans. But I think AJ retains the title.
Jaime, do you agree?
Yeah, AJ's got to keep the title heading into Mania.
Fair enough. So we've agreed on every match so far. Let's go to the next one. The United States title's probably going to be on the line at the Rumble. Bobby Roode just won it. I'm guessing he's going to get a rematch with Jinder. Maybe we see Dolph in there. Maybe. Does Bobby Roode walk out of Philadelphia as the United States champion, Jaime?
It's going to be glorious.
Daniel, do you agree?
Yeah, Bobby Roode is walking out of there United States champion. That dude is holding on to that belt past Mania.
I don't agree.
Of course you don't.
Well, we got to disagree on something. This is terrible radio. All right, Brock versus Braun versus Kane. Jaime, give me your winner.
Brock has to keep it.
Dan?
It's gonna lose.
So who wins?
Brock's keeping the belt. Brock.
I'm going to disagree here too, and this is why. I just have a sneaky suspicion this is the last of Kane. This is going to be the last of Kane, and I think that because it's the last of Kane, they'll give him the title between the Rumble and Mania as a nice little 2-month present. He'll lose it at Mania to Roman or to Cena or whoever wins the Royal Rumble, whoever that may be. Maybe it's a returning Ethan Carter III. Maybe it's Diamond Dallas Page. Maybe Ty Dillinger. Maybe even Goldberg himself. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Kane win this, just to lose it a few weeks later. It seems like a very WWE thing to do. Okay. Let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble. Have they announced the full roster yet? I've only seen 24.
I haven't even seen that many, but I'm also out of it too because, like I told you guys earlier, work's been killing me, and I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown yet. So.
Okay, so.
Give me the list.
I don't have it in front of me, but we can name the usual suspects. You're gonna have your Natty, your Naomi, Tamina, and the like. So, Dan, give me a winner.
Carmella, just for interesting sake.
Interesting. Explain.
She now will have the briefcase, and she wins the Rumble. So what's going to happen is she's going to lose at Mania. She's going to attack Charlotte from behind, cash in the briefcase, and win.
You know what? I kind of agree with you there, but I think you got it a little bit wrong there. Because what she could do is beat Charlotte using the Money in the Bank, and then use the Rumble to beat whoever's got it on Raw. Whoever that may be at that time, whether it's still the 5 Feet of Fury or whether it's Nia or whoever, and unify the belts. Just saying. Just saying. Jaime, who do you got winning?
I'm going NXT here. I'm taking Ember Moon. There's still the possibility of Ember Moon entering the Rumble.
That's true.
She's main roster ready.
You're saying there's 24 confirmed? So there's 24 confirmed. 3 are probably coming from NXT, which if my guess it would be Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, and
Ember Moon.
Maybe Ember Moon. I don't think Ember Moon's in the Rumble unless she drops the belt the night before. But I think Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are for sure. And then that leaves us 3 surprise returns, maybe just 2 surprise returns, and they do a 4th from NXT. So.
Who are the surprise returns? I mean, we obviously know Beth Phoenix and Lita.
I don't think it's Phoenix.
Trish?
I think we're gonna get
Gail Kim.
I think we're gonna get some. I think we're gonna get if Lita's one, I think we're getting one that's going to stay. And that's why I don't think it would be Beth Phoenix and Lita. Because I don't think Lita's going to stay to be on the active roster. I think if we get a return, they're staying on the active roster.
Eve Torres.
Eve Mendez.
Melina.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe we get a,
Tori Wilson.
I'm blanking on her name.
Stacey
She actually
Keebler.
might be someone from the Indies. Mercedes Martinez. I would love to see Mercedes Martinez. She was in the Young Classic. She's a veteran. She could go right on the main roster and do it.
Or Laurel
Storm.
or Laurel Van Ness.
She's up. Tony Storm might have some contract issues because of Stardom. I don't know how the Japanese contracts work, but I would love to see Tony Storm, or even some of the other. Maybe they do bring in a Progress woman as well. Man, I would like to see like a Kaylee Ray or even a Dahlia Black. I can just list a bunch of hot, British wrestlers. So,
Or Candice LeRae.
That's an idea, Jaime.
I would say yes if she wasn't announced that she was at the Performance Center. Normally, when they say that they join the Performance Center, that means they're going to NXT.
Well, we never know.
You're right. I'm going based off of history with my logical reasoning.
But But Dan, there is no history for this. This is the first time this has ever happened.
There's a history based off of what happens when they announce someone is signed for the Performance Center.
Touche.
Give me one wrestler on the active roster that they tweeted out was at the Performance Center and then just showed up on the main roster and never was on NXT.
Cruiserweight Classic, guys.
No, all those guys have performed NXT or NXT house shows.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about the Men's Royal Rumble before we put a bow on this. We got a few things. First things first, number 10 has to be Ty Dillinger, right? Is there a safer bet in WWE than Ty Dillinger being at the number 10 spot of the Royal Rumble?
Maybe he's not at number 10 because he's been doing a lot of heel work on house shows. Telling the crowd they're not perfect.
But still, I mean, that's his number. It's like having Wayne Gretzky in a uniform that's not number 99. It just doesn't make any sense. It's
I think you're going to get a lot of disappointed fans if he's not number 10. I'm just trying to play contrarian here.
No. Oh, yeah. Booed out of the building. It'll be worse than the boo Batista got when he came out at number 30 that one year. It's going to be bad. But, okay, number 9. We talked about number 9 earlier in the show. It's always a big return spot. It's always an older wrestler, somebody that's not been involved with the WWE. Who would you guys like to see at number 9?
The guy who has 10-1 betting odds on sports books right now. Daniel Bryan.
Okay, fair enough. Jaime, who do you want to see at number 9?
Rockstar Spud.
Rockstar, no.
I'm just throwing in a surprise name.
That's a surprise, all right.
No, it's Rockstar Spud should be nowhere close to involved in the Royal Rumble. He should go find Hornswoggle, and those two can wrestle each other, as far as I'm concerned.
Wait.
Hey, what about Ricochet?
Performance Center, though.
Yeah, that's my same logic.
How about Adam Cole, baby?
Too soon.
Is it?
They're doing a lot of good things in NXT right now. He has to win the title. He's gonna have to hold the NXT title.
I got one better. Eric Bischoff II. Yeah. EC3 as EB2, also called the Deuce, because he is the shit, will be at the number 9 spot. I like those odds. Or Diamond Dallas Page.
I really hope he takes the Trouble team to WWE.
I just want to see. I just really hope what I just said. Like, that is the perfect thing for the character. Everybody calls me the Deuce because I'm the shit. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect heel thing to do. What do you think, Dan?
I think you're crazy.
Hey, you're going to wrestling school. Maybe that should be your little character thing. Yeah, you could have a 2 all over your ring gear and everything else. A little poo emoji on the back of your trunks.
No more. He's already done that.
Put it on the front of your trunks.
It's gonna be double D because of his man boobs.
Speaking of man boobs, what odds does Jinder Mahal have?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I was only looking at like surprise returns. Like Tripp was on there, CM Punk, Taker, Bryan.
CM Punk. What kind of odds is he getting?
40-1.
That high? Really?
Yeah.
If he's the surprise return, he can win it all.
If he's a surprise return, nobody's going to care who wins that match. The roof
doesn't even matter.
The roof will come off of the Wells Fargo Center.
He better win. He better be number 30 and he better win.
Because nobody else is gonna.
Number 30 is the best.
Nobody else is gonna care who comes after him.
Number 9, Roman's number 30, and Roman comes in and eliminates him right away.
Oh my god!
In a Philly crowd in Philly.
No, honestly, yeah, you're right. Philadelphia, ECW, Philadelphia, right? I mean, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if we see maybe Tommy Dreamer, Rob Van Dam, maybe the Sandman, all appear.
No, look, let me tell you something. If there's one guy you don't want to see, it's this Sandman.
But think about it.
Sandman's now
I saw him
old man.
I saw him at WrestleCon last year.
What about Raven?
You're better off. Huh?
I mean, I'm just saying, what a better way to get a cheap pop from a bunch of nostalgic-ass fans, and a better way to showcase an old guy that can't really move. Hey, I'm gonna, 3, 2, 1, and Enter Sandman starts playing, and he comes down, and he takes a minute and a half to get into the ring, and he's got a kendo stick, he's already bleeding, and he gets in the ring, and he just whacks like 6 people with the kendo stick, and then here comes Kane, and Kane just fucking over the top rope, and it's done. Sandman gets his kendo sticks in, he gets the entrance.
You just said Kane was winning the belt, so why would Kane be in the Rumble?
Well, I don't know. Okay, then Big Show or Braun Strowman. Strowman eliminates him. Strowman's already in a match.
That's more logical.
But
it don't matter. I mean, if the 2 that don't win the title, they're going to be in the Rumble. They're doing double duty.
Unless the Rumble doesn't go on last.
Did he go on last year? Wasn't that Brock Roman last year at the Rumble?
Honestly, I can't remember. It was that forgettable of a Rumble. I couldn't even tell you who won the Rumble last year.
I can.
Anyway.
Oh, I can't.
Mm-hmm. Before we close it out.
It was Orton.
Orton won the Rumble?
Yep. He faced right for the belt.
Oh, and
Mania.
In the House of Horrors? That was for the belt?
No, House of Horrors was not at Mania.
It came after Mania.
No, it came before. Yeah, it came after Mania, right?
What the hell?
Mania was the maggots in the ring.
Oh, oh God, that was so terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I blocked that out of my memory.
No one in the arena had any idea what was going on.
Oh, that was so god-awful. Anyway, alright. Before we close it out, Jaime, who wins the Royal Rumble?
It's gonna be end of days. Baron Corbin.
That will be the end of the days for WWE if he wins.
I completely agree. Hey, maybe that's how Impact gets back to it. We don't know. Dan, give me a winner.
Daniel Bryan.
I'm going to give you a winner right here. And it's going to be the greatest winner that's ever won anything. He won a couple of Novembers ago. He's going to win again. And that is WWE Hall of Famer Donald J. Trump. Calling it right now. Dan, you still with us? I think we may have lost Dan on that. I'm going to try to get back with Dan, get him back connected. No. But my pick, John Cena.
Are you done trolling?
No, I'm serious with John Cena, though.
Oh, okay, but are you done trolling with the Trump?
Yes, I'm fantastically done. I could.
I mean, what was his face like when I hung up?
Smiling.
He definitely was not smiling. He was definitely worried that I wasn't going to come back.
No, I didn't even know you disconnected. I just assumed.
Uh,
But anyway, that's all the time we have for us today. I may give out your Twitter handle, let people know where they can find you.
my Twitter handle's at @thegreatJLA. You can find me also on my YouTube channel with the same handle, the same channel name, The Great JLA. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Dan, you want to plug yourself?
You can find me at RealDDirect on Twitter. And you guys can also look for me in various other places, but you have to find them in the deep, dark corners of the web.
So what, Ball Sport or something like that? Or Ball Spoon?
Ball.com.
I'm sorry?
Ball.com.
One more time.
Ball.com.
One more time.
Hoopball.com. Hoopball.com.
There it is. I finally didn't talk over you.
Ball.com.
That's hoopball.com, as in Daniel only has one ball, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm too tired to think of a...
You want to see?
No, we really don't. All right, and as for me, you can find me on Twitter, CLANDCS. That's the initials of the show. You can find me there. You can also find me at the Journal and Noble County Leader, where I have some of my work for that newspaper on this very same SoundCloud channel. And if Real Sport ever comes back to us, you can find all of us on there. So, for all of us here at the Cap Stocks and Chair Shots podcast, I'm Ed Burkeen, that's Jaime, and that's Dan, and if you're not down with us, we got just 2 words for you. Keep listening.